Hey everyone, this is Austin, and with obviously the title and the thumbnail, I don't like what I have to do, but I have to for the simple fact that it seems that I guess on YouTube a lot of this kind of stuff gets by faster, and I want people to pay attention to this wonderful place, Anime's News Network, and how they wrote a article about the worst animes in 2019. And yes, Shield Hero was on it, even though Shield Hero had many numerous successes in this year. It was the most streamed anime on Crunchyroll. In China, it had 11.6 billion views, if I'm not mistaken, overall in the series. I mean, Anime News Network, the internet's most trusted anime source, whatever. I don't think they're very trustworthy. Their biasness is showing, and it's leaking through, like my depression. So let's start off with some of the things that I picked apart with the article, because most of the article is really bad. If I'm calling an anime the worst of this year, basically it's about politics. That's what it is. There's politics in this anime, American politics that are invading a Japanese anime that they don't agree with. And, I get that. Everyone has their political view. Everyone can have their own view, but really, it's not politically, there's politics that you don't like in the anime, and it's not because of the studio, it's because of the fandom. What? Excuse me? Hold on a second. What kind of sense does that make? You're telling me that the Rise in the Shield Hero doesn't have the same politics as American politics. Let's go quickly. Look at the studio. It is the Rise in the Shield Hero, a light novel written by Aneko. And I mean, going to the studio. Wait a minute, a Japanese animation studio? Wait, let's bring this up. In Tokyo, you're telling me a Tokyo or a Japanese anime studio doesn't have the same politics as an American? You're telling me someone that is Japanese has different views of politics from America? I don't know how Japanese people are supposed to go for, American politics, because it's Japanese entertainment, not American entertainment. And I mean, it's crazy. It really is that they bring that up. It's like ridiculous. That is a horrible point, in my opinion, but to whatever they want to do, in a sense. Oh, there we go. Those are the keywords that we always love to see with Rise of the Shield Hero: misogyny and slavery. Those are the keywords that are always used against Shield Hero, because politics, American politics, have to be in this, even though most Americans don't understand that slavery isn't over. It goes on still in this world, and they are so passionate about, getting rid of it when it still goes on. It's easier to click on the keyboard than anything, I guess, but hey, if you're gonna say something, act. Don't just sit down. But let's get to the good old, slavery part, then I'll obviously go to the sexist part of the whole thing. But yeah, let's go. Boys and girls, watch this. Austin-Sensei is about to do more research than anyone at Anime News Network. Yeah. So, pulling stuff from the actual anime, and I'm going to include some of the stuff from the light novel later on. That episode 2 right here, we have, Naofumi kind of just confronted with Raphtalia, and, he's been told that, she has a mental disorder, she isn't doing well, and as the slave trader told Naofumi about Raphtalia, she isn't long for this world. Even knowing this stuff, he did get her, knowing that, she could have died. I mean, even after that, he had the chance to get rid of her. He had the chance to order her around and do unspeakable things and be the person that these people make him out to be, but he didn't. And I think that's what pisses people off, because they want something to complain about. And yes, Naofumi was very upfront and brutal about slaves, but it was more of the state of mind he was just in. So, not an excuse, just explain something, but I understand where people are coming from that. But continuing on to, episode 4, we see, Rolf Talia kind of defending Naofumi about him saving her life. If it wasn't for him, she wouldn't be here. She wouldn't be loyal. And I mean, I'm going to say something very mean but truthful. Most of these people are keyboard warriors won't ever, if they were put into that Naofumi's shoes and pushed to the edge of where he was, most of them would end up crying in a corner and crying for their mom, because it takes a lot of balls to go forward after having such horrible things done to you. And that's why I like Naofumi. And, he's a good example of just being a good person and still reflecting on yourself for what you did. And I mean, using the light novel, I don't want to bring up, photos, because I don't think that's fair to the author or the publisher. But Naofumi does mention how horrible he thinks he is. He's a tyrant and all this kind of stuff. And, he doesn't like the slave trader, but he keeps a professional kind of relationship with him for the simple fact he thinks the slave trader is scum. It was said in volume 13. And I mean, if you pick up the light novel, you'll know. Honestly, it doesn't hurt to do research, and I don't expect people to go that far in the light novel because they're going to pull and construe things. But going on to the whole sexist part, they want to bring up always the fact that, he was framed for something he didn't do, and they think it's playing a part on the Me Too movement, but in reality, this stuff does happen in real life. I've seen it firsthand. I have seen cases, and it's a scary thing for a guy, because we as guys are always told to be a man, be manly, but we're told that our manliness is bad and toxic. I mean, we get constantly screwed over with stuff, and the system's against us. But getting out of that kind of category right now and going into Shield Hero, right here, we see, even in the anime, that what Naofumi is, he got accused of with little to no evidence. He could have been put to death for the simple fact, if he wasn't a hero. So we want to talk about a kingdom. If I don't remember the name correctly, it's not a matriarch, it's actually a fancy version of it, but the women basically have the power, and the queen is the royal bloodline, as we know, with, Trash being married into royalty. And of course, Naofumi gets a hilarious laugh at that. I mean, yeah. But nonetheless, we want to talk about sexism and all that stuff, and really, you want to talk about that? I mean, we can bring up the fact that Naofumi, the guy of the series, isn't the one that's out there on the front lines, having a sword in his hand, doing the damage, being the big burly man that people are making him out to be, that he's so overpowered that he's destroying everything. And little do people know, his attack is very low. He can't do much damage to do any considerable damage, to say the least. And I mean, really, he could use his Shield of Wrath, but that comes at a cost. I don't get what people don't understand. Then they bring up the whole fact that, he didn't need Rolf Talia, but he did, because people love to bring up the good pesticide, and people didn't think, maybe when he was using the knife or anything like that to cook, he can use a weapon. That's their logic. And no, if you are smart, or borderline actually smart, or intelligent, or a normal human being, you notice that if it isn't seen as a weapon, he can use it. But I guess the anime didn't do a good job at that. I'll give them that, but really, we're going to use that. But going on to more of how Shield Hero is like the perfect feminist dream, honestly. We have all strong female leads. We have Rolf Talia. She is out there fighting, being the big burly man that Naofumi's supposed to be. Didn't they complain that there's no strong female leads? And we have one. We have a really strong female, the queen. We have Melty. And the villain, isn't a white guy, to say the least. As people complain that it's being oversaturated with that, it's a female. And, of course, in a situation like this, that people don't believe that happens, even though it does happen every day in I really hope people focus their concentration on helping men that get falsely accused, because they get everything stripped away from them, even if they're right and, innocent, to say the least. But going to the slavery part, some people won't ever get this far in the light novel because they'll be too angry. But light novel 10, Naofumi, the guy that constantly tears himself apart within himself, calling himself tyrant and all this stuff, he goes out of his way to save slaves and build a village and give them a safe place for themselves after he, goes away. But, he's a horrible person, and it's starting to seem that a lot of these people that want strong female leads and are hating this feminist series, I'm going to be honest, it's like perfect with that. It's equality with certain things and giving us, no, I'm joking. I have to really stress. But most of them just seem like they are good old Motoyasu, honestly. But anyways, guys, I apologize for clickbaiting the title and thumbnail. It seems that a lot of false stuff travels faster on YouTube than a truth. So, I'm going to game the system, I guess. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I probably won't do it again, but apologize again. Thank you for watching, especially to this point. And yeah, let's trigger some people, as usual. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I'll catch you again. This has been Austin, and I'm signing out. Peace.